I had a dream as a young boy, like all these Hall of Famers up here, to be a professional athlete. I was blessed with a gift, and I thank the Lord above for the wonderful, wonderful opportunity to have played this great game of baseball. I played all the sports as a young boy, but it was always baseball that I loved the most. I collected baseball cards as a hobby and one day dreamed of what it would be like to have my picture on one of those cards. I grew up in Southern California, a Dodgers fan, and my idol was the Mickey Mantle. I know you're here with us today, Mick, so thank you for instilling in me the love of the game. You see, I always have been a fan of the game first and a ball player second. Maybe that's why I had the love and passion for this great game so much. My dream became a reality in 1972 when the Montreal Expos drafted me in the third round. It's funny because my primary positions in high school were as a pitcher and an infielder. During those I only caught 5 or 6 games my senior year of high school. But during those 5 or 6 games, a scout by the name of Bob Zuck, who is here with us today, believed I could become a big league catcher someday. He held true to his word, and on the night of the draft, at 18 years of age, I signed a contract with the Expos and started making plans to head off to Jamestown, New York. Bob, thanks for believing in me. So off I went to New York for a 2-week tryout camp to determine where I was going to play that year. And it was there that Bill McKenzie, my first catching coach, who taught me all the fundamentals and techniques about catching. And it was there in Jamestown, New York, where the journey began. I would like to thank all the coaches and managers I played for, from my very first manager, Pat Doherty, to my very last manager, Felipe Alou, in Montreal. However, there is one manager who's left such an impact on my life and in my career, and that was Carl Keel, who is with us today. He managed me when I was in the Instructional League, AA and AAA, and I know he believed in me more than anyone else. I remember he would throw tennis balls to me and worked on my hitting and to get out of the way of pitches, and he would even charge me 25 cents for every ball that I would drop while I was catching in a game. After 2.5 years in the minor leagues being groomed as a catcher, I began my rookie season in the major leagues in 1975. The Expos started me in the outfield. Well, that was when I could run pretty good and had some pretty decent knees. But after having a pretty good first half, I was invited to the All-Star game in Milwaukee. Well, there it was Johnny Bench who befriended me and kind of took me under his wing. By then, Johnny had established himself as one of, if not the greatest catcher of all time. He had already won 2 MVP awards and had developed the one-handed style of catching, and also as one of the best defensive catchers there ever was. Maybe, just maybe, he saw a little of him in me. We had a picture taken together, and later I asked him if he would sign it for me, and he wrote on it, he said, "Kid, in a few years, it's all yours." Well, that inspired me to carry the torch for catchers, because it made me want to work hard as possible and to try to make every All-Star game and be the best at my position. Thanks, JB. I appreciate it very much. Well, after 2.5 years playing mostly in the outfield, I finally got a chance to play every day behind the plate in 1977. Dick Williams was instrumental in making that happen. From that point on, the rest is history. You see, going to a baseball game, just like you guys are here today, and sitting in the stands is like going to that happy place where you can leave your worries behind. Baseball has allowed me to meet so many special people along the way. One here today that I am so honored to have in our presence is former President, George Bush Sr. greatest thrill of my career certainly was that amazing 86 World Series. Nothing will ever top that, and the memories will last forever. All of you that were there, everybody will remember the dramatic Game 6 and certainly the way we came back in that series. So all you Mets fans out there, God bless you, 86. I will be forever grateful to the Expos for beginning my career and winding up my career in 1992. The Lord gave me a storybook ending of my career in front of over 40,000 fans. My last at bat was a game-winning double, and after hobbling to second base, I left the game to a standing ovation. There is nothing like the roar of the crowd. Now I'd like to take this moment to say what an honor it is to share this date with you, Eddie. Even though we only shared 1 year together with the Dodgers, I always respected your desire and your professionalism. A lot of people don't know Eddie Murray the way I do, and it was in spring training in 1991. After one of the games, Eddie headed back to the clubhouse with a bat that he had broken in a game. In the midst of a large crowd, Eddie handed that broken bat to a smiling little boy. That boy happened to be my son, DJ. He was only 6 years old at the time, and he ran into the clubhouse to show me what he had just gotten. I was kind of shocked because, Eddie, I mean, you don't share a lot of things with a lot of people, you know? But anyway, I walked over to him and asked him if he would kindly sign it, and after a brief hesitation, he did. And, well, today, DJ considers that bat one of his most prized possessions. And that, right there, was the start of the Carter-Murray connection. Who would have believed that we would be standing here today on July 27th, 2003, being inducted with all these great players? Okay, this is where it might get a little tough. Now I want to take this time to thank the most important people in my life. Above all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I thank you, Lord, for giving me such wonderful parents. My parents can't be here today in person, and I know that they're smiling down from heaven today because they have the best seats in the house. I've said to a lot of people that my father's on my right shoulder today and my mom's on my left. I love my parents very, very much. I only had my mother until I was just 12 years of age, but I always felt her presence throughout my career. My father, Jim, who inherited the responsibility of both parents, didn't have a mean bone in his body and always had a smile for everyone. He was always there for me. He coached me in Little League, Pony League, and American Legion, and also supported me in any other sport I played, constantly encouraging me. His favorite time of year was spring training when he'd come visit the family and watch a few games. He would go early with me to the ballpark and would stay until the end. He just couldn't get enough baseball. I'll never forget the time when we were playing cards in the clubhouse and the manager called a team meeting. That meant everyone out of the clubhouse except the team. Well, my dad's response was, "Do I have to? I have a pretty good hand." Well, if you know my pop, that's the way he was. And Mom, Pop, you're missed, but you'll never be forgotten. I know how happy and proud you guys are today. I'm also very blessed to have my other parents, my in-laws, Mom and Dad, and my brother-in-law, Jim, who are with me today. They have known me since I was 16 years old and have watched me grow up. Thanks for all your love and your support throughout the years, and always opening up your home in California for after-game celebrations. Well, as for my big brother Gordon, who's 4 years older than me, I thank you for being such an amazing role model for me growing up. It meant so much for me, to me, that you would allow me to always play ball with you and your friends, even if I did bug you all the time. You've been the one who has influenced me to always strive to be my best, to do my best. I always tried to be your shadow and looked up to you in so many ways. I realize now how much you did for me while growing up. I am so thankful for the relationship we have. I love you, big brother. Well, to my immediate family, there is so much to say and not enough time to say it. So the one thing I remember the most is how much the kids and Sandy would be at all the games. You know, I never felt comfortable or relaxed until I saw their happy faces sitting in the stands behind home plate. To my 3 precious children, I love you all very, very much. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And for all that you have done, I'm so thankful that each one of you have chosen to walk with the Lord. Christy, you remember the most about my career, and have always prayed that I would do well in games. You were my number 1 cheerleader. What a help you were to Mom, and a great role model to Kimmy and DJ. You have become a beautiful woman and an excellent teacher. To my new son-in-law, Matt Kearse, who I feel is like a second son already, thanks for taking care of my kiddo. To my little catcher, Kimmy, who would sometimes only last a couple of innings before she would head off to the wives' room, and start up her own games. She played softball with the same kind of passion and desire that I did. I got the chance to coach her, and I was amazed to see how much she reminded me of myself on the field. I certainly wouldn't have wanted to try to slide into her either, because I tell you, she could some kind of block the plate. And she also left her mark at Florida State University. She enjoys teaching kids in classroom and on the field, and has truly turned out to be a beautiful woman inside and out. To my son, DJ, what a phenomenal man you have become. No father could ever be more prouder of a son than I am of you. You light up on stage, and you light up any room you enter. You are the most encouraging person and positive person I know. Deej, you inspire me, bud, to be a better man. As for my wife and high school sweetheart, and now wife of over 28 years, I fell in love with you, honey, when I was 16, and my love for you has remained constant through the years. I thank you always for your encouraging words and all the letters that you wrote to me while in the minor leagues, and for taking care of the family, for always being by my side. You have truly shown your love to me and have always been the wind beneath my wings. For that, I will be forever grateful. I share this day with you, honey, more than anyone else here. I love you more than you'll ever know. And in closing, I have mentioned, and for so many that I have not been able to mention, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is nice to know that even though my body feels like an old man now, I will always be a kid at heart. I love this great game. I'm so honored to be in Cooperstown as a Hall of Famer. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you very much.